Have you ever wondered why Richard Mille watches are so expensive? Well, hand me your wrists as I am about to take you to the reasons behind their high price tag. From the use of rare materials to their precision engineering, I will uncover what sets these timepieces apart from the rest. So, get ready to find out why Richard Mille watches are worth every penny. Or should I say, every diamond-encrusted penny? But before that, do subscribe to my channel so you'll never miss any future videos. When we think about wristwatches, brands like Rolex and Tag Heuer immediately come to mind. These premium watchmakers have built a name for themselves, and practically everyone is aware of them. Another name that has gained popularity among the upper class is Richard Mille. Some people may be unfamiliar with this brand. The rich class, on the other hand, is quite fond of their timepieces. Except for individuals with wealthy acquaintances, some people will only encounter a Richard Mille watch while surfing the internet. Richard Mille has only been in the watch industry for a few decades. The Swiss firm released its debut watch in 2001. Since then, they have taken over the high-end watch world. All owing to their skill and general inventiveness, the company has swiftly become the most exclusive brand in the watchmaking industry. While the timepieces are of high quality, the pricing is very astounding. Richard Mille's most cheap watch is the RM 005, which will cost you $80,000. That is the starting point for joining the Richard Mille Club. From then, these high-end watches cost more than $2 million. The Tourbillon is Richard Mille's most popular model. On average, they cost between $500,000 and $800,000. Richard Mille watches are exorbitantly priced. Looking at the average price of the Richard Mille catalog, you will notice that it is the most costly watch brand on the market. This takes us back to today's topic. Why are Richard Mille watches so expensive? When considering the Richard Mille brand, I was able to identify a few factors that set it apart from the competition. Number 7. Status symbol. In the watch market, Richard Mille has become the epitome of riches. The reason for this is that these watches are primarily seen on the wrists of society's elite. The term billionaire's handshake has been invented for persons who wear Richard Mille watches. You are indicating that you spent a lot of money on a Richard Mille by owning one. In the watch industry, it has become the ultimate prestige symbol. Even more so because everyone knows you spent a lot of money on a Richard Mille, which is exclusively worn by the richest of the affluent and celebrities. Number 6. Marketing. While the watches are unrivaled in terms of design, engineering, and innovation, Richard Mille's marketing has also been critical to their success. It is one of the primary reasons they can charge such exorbitant fees. Their marketing team has done an excellent job of instilling a sense of exclusivity. If you have a Richard Mille, only other people like you can afford one, and those are only a handful of people. The team's tagline, "A racing machine on the wrist," speaks for itself. They've frequently used that as an explanation for why their watches are so costly, and it's worked quite well for them. Number 5. Rarity. It is not just about marketing and strategy. Making a Richard Mille watch is a time-consuming and difficult process. The majority of the labor is done by hand. But that isn't the only reason Richard Mille watches are hard to come by. It also has to do with scarcity. If you create a lot of watches every year, it loses part of its allure. Richard Mille only produces 5,000 watches every year. It is not a small number, but demand outnumbers supply each year. It generates a sense of uniqueness and keeps people wanting more. In addition, various models are created in limited editions. It contributes to the sensation of owning a one-of-a-kind watch. High secondary market and auction prices demonstrate how valuable this brand is. Number 4. Complicated movements. Another reason for producing a limited quantity of watches is the time and attention each product requires for its complicated movements. The Richard Mille team approached horology in a different way than what people are used to seeing in the traditional world of Genève. Richard Mille was a watch enthusiast himself. He was fascinated by the movements of the tiny parts. From there, he acquired the notion and pioneered the concept of visualizing the elements' activities. The public loved the notion since contemporary watchmakers wanted to observe the movement of a watch. After all, the movement is the most intriguing aspect of a mechanical watch. Richard Mille persisted with the concept, and suddenly it was all about the tourbillons, which is a rotating cage from which escape needs a great level of imaginative sophistication, and that to increase accuracy. This means that the mechanism of a Richard Mille watch is simple and built for high-impact dependability. You receive not only unfailing accuracy, precision, and dependability from Richard Mille, but also beauty and elegance. Number 3. HighTech Materials. It's not just the innovative ideas and movements that make Richard Mille watches so revolutionary. The high-tech avant-garde materials are crucial to the brand's success. They are employing materials that have never been seen before in the watch business. These materials are cutting edge, that are commonly utilized in the production of Formula One cars, aerospace industries, and racing boats. They are not only avant-garde materials in watchmaking, but also in the most cutting-edge businesses. Mille has spent a lot of money and years of his life researching and developing ways to employ these materials in his watches. These metals and materials have novel compositions that are unheard of in the watchmaking industry. One may always boast that these watches are constructed of one-of-a-kind materials, but this is not always the case. These watches are built of advanced and long-lasting materials since they serve a practical and aesthetic purpose. When you try on a Richard Mille watch, you will notice that it is fairly large. However, the watch's massive dials and straps are extremely lightweight and do not add weight to your wrist, which is pretty impressive. The watch weighs around 40 grams on average. Aside from being lightweight and portable, these materials provide tremendous toughness and longevity to the combination. You have an uncompromising structure, a featherweight feel, and a stunning finish. It's simply mind-blowing watch design combining all these features, and this is amplified even more when you consider the case's construction. Surprisingly, the method of creating the materials frequently results in random patterns in the layers of carbon. As a result, each case is distinct from the others, the same way that various people have distinct fingerprints. Because of the differences in carbon stacking, no two cases appear the same, making each Richard Mille watch as unique as it can be. Number 2. Design. The unique design of a Richard Mille watch makes it easily recognizable. The design's aesthetics are impenitently strong and unique. Because they are all designed to be extremely lightweight and ergonomic, watch enthusiasts will find optimum comfort. Everything has been considered in the design to enhance comfort and appearance. What was once heavy, made in platinum or gold, he made light in deference to comfort and performance. The ultimate expression of this came when tennis legend Rafael Nadal strapped on a Mille watch over a decade ago and never took it off to this day. Thus, all of the models are hand-finished while yet being very technological. Richard Mille watches are also known for their bold, avant-garde designs that combine high-end engineering and art. The brand's designs are inspired by motorsports, modern architecture, and haute couture. They often feature unique materials such as carbon fiber, titanium, and various grade 5 titanium alloys, as well as an intricate array of skeletonized movements. The brand's watches are highly technical and have an emphasis on mechanical complexity, including split-second chronographs, tourbillons, and minute repeaters. Additionally, the design of Richard Mille watches is often asymmetrical, which makes every watch unique from the other. Number 1. Watchmaking. It is difficult to make Richard Mille's famous tonneau-shaped casing as exceptional and unique as the watches themselves. This is one of the brand's distinguishing characteristics. The sandwich-styled watch case is extremely difficult to make. It also raises the product's production costs. It has 3 decks, front and back bezels, and a central part. Each component is curved in design. Because there are no flat surfaces in the design, assembly is quite challenging. The curved surfaces must fit together within a hundredth of a millimeter to entirely prevent moisture or dust from entering. The most remarkable part about Mille watches is their accuracy. Most watchmakers admit to being amazed by this as well. The finishing methods are really outstanding. Anglage and hand polishing, satin finishes on bridges, glittering pivots, wheels, and other details are included. To the greatest extent possible, the execution results in a sporty, technical movement that is a joy to watch. Handmade watchmaking of this caliber is extremely time-consuming. It necessitates the greatest level of technical proficiency. So, this is the key reason why Richard Mille watches are so expensive. There you have it. Those are some of the reasons that I identify to explain why Richard Mille watches cost so much. If you have your heart set on owning a piece from this prestigious brand, be prepared to open up your wallet. But know that you'll be getting an amazing watch that will last a lifetime, and it is for sure going to capture your heart. Do you think that Richard Mille watches are worth their price? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to get the latest of my videos. Thanks for watching, and see you again at the next video.